The Minister of Justice, Professor Gov'T, presented to Parliament last week regulations supposed to operationalize elections under the Political Parties and Organizations Act. Remember, the Political Parties and Organizations Act was enacted in 2005. So 15 years later, Professor Gov'T is bringing regulations to operationalize parts of a law that was passed 15 years ago. So the Forum for Democratic Change rejects government-proposed regulations to govern political parties' internal elections during this period of COVID-19. The government wants parties under Regulation 2 of these regulations presented before Parliament to conduct virtual meetings, that political parties should not, leaders of political parties should not meet, but you can now hold Zoom meetings or other meetings. They also want political parties to generate resolutions by getting members to sign on saturated papers. So if you want now to resolve that the FDC will fill the 2 presidential flag bearers, the proposal by government is that you can now send papers all over the country and people simply sign. And you know, of course, people can forge them. 3, among others, they want unauthorized people, organs, to handpick flag bearers. This is the effect of what the Professor Gov'T brought to Parliament last week. That you can sit here, 4 of you, if you are a Secretary General and maybe a deputy and a spokesperson and a treasurer, and you generate a list of candidates. The FDC urges Parliament to reject, you are aware these regulations are before the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. So the FDC urges Parliament to reject these regulations because they have the effect of overthrowing multi-party democracy in Uganda. This is encouraging political parties to overthrow their own constitution. So this is what the minister is doing, that you can disregard your own constitution. In fact, the preamble to these regulations is that notwithstanding anything in your constitution, you now can follow the regulation by government, by Professor Gov'T. So forget, if the FDC constitution says an electoral college of 300 people must select a flag bearer, they're now saying, no, notwithstanding anything, you can forget, and then saturate a paper and people can begin appending signatures. So the FDC as a party, the procedures and processes of candidate identification and selection are well laid out in the FDC constitution. We will therefore not learn or not be conscripted to adopt the bad manners of NRM, who keep changing their constitution according to the whims of their leader. We have been informed that these regulations are solely to benefit the National Resistance Movement, which manipulated their constitution recently to provide for lining up behind the candidates. You know, the NRM, at the beginning, they had an electoral college. Then they said the electoral college people hide delegates and rig elections. Now it is secret ballot, it is adult suffrage. Now recently they changed now to lining up. We now hear they want to return to the electoral college and to secret ballot. The NRM wants to return to electoral college and secret ballot, which they selfishly removed from their constitution. Let them carry their own cross. We are not going to aid them. Even if they are passed by Parliament, I mean these regulations, the FDC shall not abide by them.